Merasheen Island in Placentia Bay has a length of approximately 35 kilometers and a width at its widest point of 9 kilometers. Merasheen was one of the larger and more prosperous communities that was resettled in the 1960s. The economy of Merasheen has always been dependent on the fishery. It is surrounded by the best fishing grounds in Placentia Bay, i.e. Merasheen Bank, the White Sail, Bennett's Bank, Iron Skull, etc., which are used for trawls, nets, and jiggers. Merasheen is believed to have been occupied by the French fishermen as early as the 16th century. People of British descent began to settle in the 18th and early 19th centuries. Several communities were listed by the first Newfoundland census in 1836. However, in 1845, we find that Merasheen Island had 3 settlements. Little Merasheen, population 159. Great Merasheen, population 105. Virgin Cove, population 42. After the Great Depression, the community experienced a resurgence. A fisheries cooperative established in 1939 to operate a small herring factory and a liver factory. A new fish merchant set up shop in the 1950s. By 1957, the Newfoundland government had constructed a community salting and drying plant to replace individual stages and flakes. By 1963, Merasheen had formed a community council and acquired an electric power plant. The school was expanded. The fishery products began processing herring there. The island had a resident population of several hundred in the town of Merasheen, with an economy based on fishing, until the inhabitants were moved out on the provincial government's resettlement program, with the last ones leaving in 1968. Merasheen Farewell, but also known as the Rocks of Merasheen. Now in my old and aching age, I think on her once more, of how she fared while waiting for my knock upon her door. What fate was hers I do not know, but in my sleep I've seen her walking on the cliffs upon the rocks of Merasheen. On the hard rocks, the rocky rocks, the rocks of Merasheen. On the hard rocks, the dirty rocks, the rocks of Merasheen. Merasheen Island once used telegraph to send and receive Morse code messages for residents' communications needs. These telegraph offices were located in local post offices dotted around Merasheen Island. After resettlement in the 1960s, most of the island's buildings were either left standing and left to the wild, torn down, or floated off to other Placentia Bay communities along mainland Newfoundland. For the homes left behind and forgotten about, those eventually fell to the elements and numerous storms that hit the island long after resettlement. During that time, many relics of a time long forgotten have become lost to time. Many years have passed since the last post office building had fallen, and along with it, 2 relics of a bygone era were lost for many years. In the summer of 2021, a local resident and friend of mine, Clyde Emberley, decided to take a trip over to Merasheen Island to discover the lost history and explore lands that Clyde's ancestors once lived and worked, looking for family relics and mementos. Clyde is an avid metal detectorist with years of experience behind him. Clyde decided to take a trip across from his home in Southern Harbour, took a boat ride about 35 minutes round to Merasheen's western side in hope of discovering his family's history. During the trip, and once he landed in a small cove where his family once lived, 2 of his family members were both soldiers during World War I. Clyde tied up his boat and walked to the shoreline, and with his metal detector in one hand and shovel in the other, Clyde set off for an adventure of a lifetime. During his exploration of the area, Clyde come across what looked like a small mound with a rock wall foundation. Near there lay an open, grassy field with evergreen trees nestled around the site. Clyde turned on his metal detector not long after he heard the tone of a signal buried deep in the ground. As he dug down and sifted through the soil, Clyde was amazed to have found the remains of an oval-shaped object. As intrigued as Clyde was, he continued his search. Shortly after his first find, and about 10 feet from the last find, his metal detector went off again with the same tone of the object buried deep in the ground. Clyde once again dug up the soil, and to his amazement, Clyde had found another oval brass object, the same as the first that he had found earlier. Both objects were found in a little meadow, an open area near the salt water, about 100 feet up from the shore, an old root cellar and mound about 300 feet away. After a few hours of relic hunting, Clyde returned to his boat and once again traveled back across Placentia Bay to his home in Southern Harbor. Clyde posted images of his finds on our local metal detecting Facebook group, Digging Rock Metal Detecting. Not knowing what the parts were, Clyde thought they may have been old engine components. Within a couple of minutes, I took a look at his images, and to my amazement, I realized right away that the two oval objects he had found were actually two old telegraph keys. I mentioned this to Clyde right away. He thanked me for identifying what they both were. Clyde was very surprised when he seen the name on both of the telegraph keys. Well, boys, as we all know, I'm an amateur radio operator, and for Morse code and telegraphy, it's very much part of amateur radio, and it's very much a part of world history, especially when it was first invented way back when, all the way from Marconi right on up to today. Morse code is very much still in use. When Clyde found these two CW telegraph keys there this summer, I'm sure he was very, very amazed by what they actually were after I told him. And this video is completely dedicated to Clyde, his family, and to Merasheen Island. Personally, I've never been to Merasheen Island. It's a place I certainly would love to visit at some point and do some relic hunting with him, as I'm also into metal detecting, as a lot of you may know. So I'm going to show you the two Morse code keys here on video. Two of them are located in this container. Both of the keys are here for safekeeping. So let's have a look at both of the keys and give you a closer look at them. So the keys are located in this container. So I'll just pop the cover here. This is history of Merasheen Island. Presently, myself and Clyde are trying to restore both of these Morse code keys. Clyde would like to have one for himself, and also he said I can have one of them myself if I'd like to have it, which probably most likely would. But let's have a look at these keys, and if any of you guys out there recognize these keys, by all means let us know. Give us some information in the comments below about these keys. If you know of any spare parts or would like to donate parts to to rebuild these and restore these keys, please get in contact with us in the comment section below, or you can send me a personal email at vo1mds@hotmail.com. We would definitely appreciate hearing from you, and thank you immensely. So if you have spare parts for these keys and you would like to donate them to help restore these keys to fully functioning operation, that would be so awesome from anybody. We are desperately looking for parts for these keys and we have no idea where to look, so we're looking to all of my subscribers and viewers of my YouTube channel here, Arena63. If anybody out there internationally have any idea where to get parts or like donate parts, please let us know. Please, please, please. We're desperately trying to restore these two Morse code keys. So this is the first one, wrapped up in cloth to keep it safe. So this is the first Morse code key that it was dug up, discovered on Merasheen Island this summer by Clyde Emberley. I got a pretty good idea of the type of keys that these guys are. I don't see a name on this one as such, not yet anyway, but this is the key as it was found. So obviously it's missing the paddle, the crossbar, the arm, some of the other brass pieces. So I'll just put this up the video here like this for a minute, give you an idea of what parts we're going to need for this. So again, if you guys can help us locate parts for these, it would be awesome. It would be great. So that's the first CW key. So now this is the second Morse code key. Again, was discovered on Merasheen Island, Placentia Bay. Myself and Clyde have decided not to reveal the actual location that the keys were found, as they are in his his family used to live in this area. But you can see a name engraved right there. Not sure if you can see that. New York, USA. Looks like J.H. J.H. something. Hard to see it there. I'm sure you can see it in the camera better than I can. My eyes are not as good as what they used to be. Time for a new pair of glasses, I think. But that's the second key that was found on Merasheen Island. It's got a little bit of a different design on the bottom than the first one. So I'll just show the bottom here in the video, give you an idea, and that's the top. So if anybody out there in YouTube land that can help my friend Clyde to restore both of these keys, or even restore one of these keys, it would be awesome. If you can help in any way, in parts, old broken Morse code keys you may have, whatever, if you'd like to donate them to the Merasheen Island Morse code key fund. We'll put it that way. Restoration. Merasheen Island, Morse code key, restoration. This is something I definitely want to do for Clyde. If you guys can help, please by all means get in contact with us. We would love to hear from you. This is history here, folks. This is history. Who knows when the last time these code keys were, telegraph keys were used. Who knows how long that they were lost and buried into that open field in Merasheen Island. Anyway, folks, there we have it. If you guys can help, please by all means get in touch with us. We're desperately looking for parts to restore these keys. Thanks, folks. Certainly appreciate it for anything you might be able to do for us.